Hey there, my name is Jen from wellcraftedstudio.com, and today's tutorial is how to add borders to your stickers in just minutes. Now, if you are like me, you love to make stickers with your Procreate art. It's really kind of the best way to do it. But although drawing the stickers is fun, creating those little borders can be kind of tedious. And so recently I saw a video on TikTok that showed me how to add those borders in just seconds. And although this tutorial was really fun and I tried it out and I liked it, I found out that it didn't work every single time. Depending on the edge of the border or what type of brush I was using, it kind of varied what worked. And so I tweaked it and I added it to the method I was using, and now I have what I think is the best way to add borders to your stickers. And it's also a super fast way. Okay, step one is to duplicate your image layer. And so what I mean by that is right now we're going to want to take, in order to do our background borders, we're going to want everything on one layer. And right now, because this is my original, I have everything on different layers. Now I don't want to actually do something destructive to this. I want to be able to keep that as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to the gallery and swipe left and do duplicate. And that's going to duplicate the whole canvas. So now I have two of those. And so I can go through here now and I can pinch to combine all those layers. So now I have everything on one layer, and then there's the background color. So that background color, when it's checked on, it's just white, because that's what I have it set at. And if it's checked off, then it's transparent. And transparent, you can tell it's transparent because if you look, there's all these little checks. And in most graphic design software programs, I think that checks mean transparent. So that's just kind of a little thing. So now we have our two layers, or our one layer. And so I'm going to swipe left and do duplicate to get a copy of that same layer. Okay, step two is to change the value on the duplicate layer to white. So what I mean by that is we have in our layers panel, again, which is that little square over the square, we have our two designs. So one is the exact duplicate of the other. So we're going to take the one that's the below, and just to make it easier for you guys to see, I'm going to just click off on that little checkbox on the first layer so that that one is not visible. So now you guys can see, I'm going to come up here to the magic wand, which is the image adjustments. And the very top one is hue, saturation, and brightness. We're going to choose layer because we want to affect the whole layer. And then down here at the very bottom is a toggle. And we're going to bring that all the way to the far right, as far as we can go, so it says max. And now, if you look, we have one layer that is our colorful design, and the other that is pure white. Step three is to add a Gaussian blur and adjust the threshold. Okay, to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to come back up to that image magic wand, and instead of doing the hue, saturation, brightness, we're going to come down here to the blur. And we do layer. And now what we want to do is we want to slide either your pencil or your stylus across from left to right to adjust the amount of blur. So we're going to go down between 7 to 10% seems to be about optimal. I did a bunch of testing and it does vary a little bit based on what kind of brush that you're using. If you have a watercolor, really soft brush with a loose edge, then you want to adjust for that. But basically you're going by sight. So right now, let's just say what I'm looking at is behind my drawing, I want it to be able to, I want to be able to see the blur kind of taking up the space there. So right now there's none. This is too much. It won't know what to select. And so really right about 8 something, I think, was about ideal here. Let's see. I'll try that. So it's behind everything. I can see that blur, but yet it's not too much or too little. So yeah, you just want to play with that. Okay, in step 3, we added the blur. In step 4, we're going to select the background. And so the way that we're going to do that is we're going to come right up to this little, the little ribbony next to the magic wand. And that's going to bring up our selection panel. And I have that set to automatic. And I want to carefully just click on the background. I don't want to click on any of my elements. And that's going to select the background. Now what we can do is we can, again, slide that threshold to let us know like how much of that background we want to grab. And so what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at the border around my different stickers. So here you can see where it's like really all going together. If I pull it over a little bit more, then it tightens that up just a little bit. And yet I'm losing a little, it's getting really close over here with the edge of the Y. But that's okay. We're going to work with it right now at 8.7, I think looks good. Okay, so step 5 is super, super quick, but it's a very important step. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to invert the selection. So right now we have the background selected, and now by inverting it, we've actually selected the images. Okay, so step 6 is to use a white brush and go over the selection. So with it still inverted and still selected, we're going to come right up here to the brush. And when I did that, that automatically masked out the background. So the only thing selected still are those images that we have. And I'm going to go to, so for brush, I have selected my sticker background brush. And I've got white selected in the palette. And now I'm going to, got my brush all big. I'm just going to go ahead and go across this background. And it's only filling in where the selection is. So you guys can see how quick and cool that is. So now the previous way of doing this was to go and draw around each thing. And that took quite a while. So by doing this step, we're actually cutting down our work time a lot. So pretty cool, huh? I like it. It's like magic. Okay, so step 7 is to go ahead and tweak our borders. So like I mentioned before, there were some issues here where like I missed the top of the J with this more automatic way of doing it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to unselect. And now, because I'm still on that background layer, I can go ahead with my pencil or with my brush, and I can just grab some of those things that didn't quite make it. So I'm going to go through and grab those. Just kind of smooth that shape out a little bit. So think about too, with stickers, it can be the integrity of the sticker. So like what I mean is when you pull it off the sheet, if it has lots of little areas that are in and out, you're more likely to tear the sticker, which is why if you look at sticker sheets, a lot of times they'll have it's kind of rounded off. They won't have these sharp little parts in between. So what I'll do is go through and kind of round some of that out, just so that it works a little bit better. And let's see here. So this is what I was talking to. I missed in the automatic method, I missed some of the hot cocoa steam, or some of the steam from the tea. And so because that is very transparent and it was a light layer, and so when we did the automatic selection, it didn't pick up on that. So the one method works really well for doing the majority of the work, but you do still want to go ahead and go back and check it out yourself and make sure that you've got everything that you need. And now right here, I went a little bit wide and I don't like that. So that's why I have up on my eraser, I have that same sticker background brush, because now what I can do is I can go ahead and erase some of that, and I'm still going to have that hard edge to my brush that isn't going to have a lot of stray pixels. And it's still streamlined. Okay, so I can go ahead and do that. And another thing I can do is right here, it's connected. So I'm going to bring my eraser all the way down smaller. And I'm just going to go through and clean up that a little bit, make sure those aren't connected. And then one more quick trick I want to show you guys is, so right here, see how the edge of my globe is kind of funky? It's not rounded because that's how the drawing is. So I'm going to go back to my background brush, and I'm just going to do a circle, and I'm going to hold the circle. And what that's doing is it's doing a quick shape. And so because I held it down, I created a circle. I'll show you guys right here. Oops, not really right there. So I hold it down, my pencil tip, keep it on the surface, and that creates a quick shape. So it actually creates a perfect circle. So I'm going to do that here. And then because I got that quick shape, I have the option of editing the shape, which creates a few different nodes. And those are the little blue circles that I can then go ahead and drag a little bit to kind of help me get that rounded exterior shape. So the little snowflakes that I've got here too, I can do that if I want to have like more of a rounded snowflake edge or shape to the snowflakes, a rounded sticker. Okay, so that's looking better. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap off the little arrow, and that's looking really good. Okay, so step 8 is to clean up the background, and this is kind of just a little trick that I have. And what I want to do is this, and it really takes seconds, but what I want to do is upload this into Cricut Design Space, and I know that when I use the Gaussian Blur, sometimes what it does is it creates kind of a little bit of an extra halo around that we may not have grabbed. And so that's going to kind of muck with my background and not going to give me those hard, crisp edges that I want for my stickers. And so something that you can do is go ahead and go back up to the select, and we've got it automatic again, and then click that background. And now what I'm going to do is do a 3-finger swipe, and I'm going to do cut and paste. And what that did is it gave me another layer, but if you can see here, see how all that extra, like the extra kind of halo effect, so those are extra pixels that I didn't want. And so that just puts that on a separate layer when I did the cut and paste, and now I can swipe left and delete that layer. And now I have a really nice clean border, clean background, and I'm ready to go ahead and export it. Okay, so that is pretty much it. So again, what seems to work best, no matter what type of sticker you've drawn, whether it's watercolor, gouache, whatever the background or whatever you use to create your designs, what works best seems to be the automatic selection, kind of a deep, quick and dirty, and then to go back in and take a real good look at your designs and make sure that you have everything that you want included, that your borders look good, and that everything is captured, and that everything is tweaked. So yeah, so there it is. We've got the 2 layers. So there's the white border layer and the drawing still. And now this is ready to be uploaded or exported as a PNG and then uploaded into whatever machine that you're going to use, whether it's a Silhouette or a Cricut, to create your or cut your stickers. So show you guys that. So I've got under the wrench, there's share, and then right here is PNG, and that's going to do it. And there you go, how to add borders to your Procreate stickers in just minutes. The fast and easy way that actually looks great. And so now that you've done that, you can go ahead and create your own Procreate stickers. I think they look a lot of fun. And if you want to go ahead and learn how that I went and drew these and then how to cut them with your Cricut, make sure you check out my other Procreate sticker tutorials. I use the Cricut all the time and I love it. If you would also like to go ahead and pick up that sticker border brush, you can go ahead and find that at wellcraftedstudio.com, and I've got the link right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.